Howdy folks, and welcome to Tunland Farm. It's almost end of August. We just had over 5 inches of rain. I don't know exactly how much because my rain gauge runs out at 5 inches. That happened Sunday. We had a little bit before that. But what happened was it started greening everything up again. For those that don't know or don't live in Texas, we've been in a drought for a couple of months. We had pretty negligible rain going back to June, especially in July, and right up until about around the 20th of August here. I guess it started a little bit on last Saturday, the 19th. Yeah. But since that time, we've probably had out here, I don't know, 7 or 8 inches of rain, and it has done wonders for getting this grass to grow. This is mostly bahia, and we got mixed in with a bunch of other stuff in here. We did throw some seed down. There's some interesting things growing. I forget what all we put in here, but I've seen millet and some sorghum. Hoping to get some clovers and things like that popping up. But as you can see, this grass is pushing 8 to 10 inches in height. Now I've kept the cattle out of this area. This has been over, that polytape has been effective at keeping them confined or restricted from specific areas. So I'm going to go over here and look at the grass that they've had access to and see the difference in what they've been eating on versus what has been just sitting here resting. And I don't know if you can tell from the camera, especially with me moving, the difference, but I can certainly see it from where I'm standing. I think if we look down the fence line, this pasture wasn't in great shape to begin with. So really we're just getting started with it. This area was fairly open, but you can start to see some of the things growing back in here. There was a lot of briar, basically dewberries, and some cedars and a bunch of other little trees growing in there. Obviously we've got that brush pile, a bunch of stuff was knocked out and pushed into there. And then this was all open pasture. But as you can see here, zoom in here, the grass for this side over here on the left-hand side is where the cattle have been. You can see how long it is over here where they've not been. So tomorrow I'll come out and I'm going to adjust this tape. You can even see down here where they've stuck their head under here a little bit and reach the good grass. But what I'll do is I'll restrict them from this area. That'll give this grass a chance to grow. That manure will break down and start to feed that. Probably going to roll some hay out over here because it's mostly just gravel and a little bit of hard pack. But I think one bale, run it down that way once and then run it back up this way. Should be good to go. Zoom back out here. You can see over on the Wildflower Trail, all of this grass is starting to come in. This is panic grass down here. Cattle like that. I'll probably walk them out here tomorrow while I can be with them. They tend to wander off if I let them go too long. But anyway, that's it. The big test was mainly about keeping them trained to this poly wire, because that's going to allow me to do some other things with them later on. Like I'd actually like to bring them out of the pasture. There's a lot of areas with grass, and as long as I can stand up some poly wire, I can keep them from wandering off for the most part. They do come back, but we've had to chase them a couple times. Anyway, that's it for today's walkthrough. Pasture is improving, and we just keep trying to lay down manure, urine from the cattle. They're going to stomp some of that organic matter down, bust it up. It's going to feed the soil. soil's going to keep getting better. It's going to feed the grass. The grass is going to feed the cows, and the cycle starts all over again. Well, technically it starts with the soil. What's pretty cool is that we've got grass, which converts sunlight and the stuff in the soil into food that the cattle eat. In turn, that goes into their little tummies, all 4 of them, and as ruminants, their guts break it down. They don't actually live off grass, they live off of what the fauna in their bellies produce. And turns it into meat. So, if you think about it, I've got a solar-powered meat factory. It doesn't get any greener than that. And by the way, all this mess about methane and cattle being bad for the environment, that is a cycle. The methane goes right back into the ground, keeps cycling locally. By the way, your grasses, your trees, those things actually take carbon out of the air and sequester it into the ground. And so as long as we follow regenerative practices, we're pulling the carbon from the air that we've been putting out there net new as we dig it up and burn it. Like, I'm not opposed to fossil fuels. I like them. I like to go fast in the car. I like to power my tractor and do things that I can't do by hand. But no reason not to be mindful and good stewards of what we've been given here. I'm going to die and pass this on to somebody else. So I've got to be careful about how I use it. Make sure there's something left for them. Anyway, that's it from the farm. Ponds are super full right now. They're still sitting at the, this pond in particular is sitting at the spillway. The big pond to the east is more full than it's ever been. So won't be long till it's done, which means I probably should get my pier posts in so I can have a fishing dock or a swimming dock or something fun. Anyway, all right, once again, that's it from the farm. You guys have a great night.